Hey everybody, it's Karyn Bryant for MMA Heat. I'm here with Gegard Mousasi, who of course is facing Dan Henderson at UFC on Fox in Sweden. And listen, Gegard, we talked when this was first getting announced, and I'm sure not much has changed. But how do you feel about this matchup in terms of excitement level to face somebody as legendary as Dan Henderson?
Very much. I think it's an important fight for me. I think with this fight, I could, if I get the W, I can get someone a contender again. So it's gonna get me right back up there. So it's a very important fight for me. And fighting a guy like Dan Henderson, he's a legend and he's tough. So it would be great to get a win over him.
Mm-hmm. And actually, there was a time when you were both in Strikeforce as well, but it never happened there either, huh?
No, I knew there was a possibility, but I like Dan. I know him. He's a nice guy. I even trained once with him. So, but yeah, it's now at middleweight in UFC. So, yeah, different stage, different weight, but yeah.
Yeah. So how do you feel stylistically, though? Obviously we know Dan has that great wrestling background, but when he was fighting Shogun for the second time, Dan even admits this, like Shogun was kicking his butt. He was really doing well up until he wasn't, and Dan landed that punch. Obviously, that punch is something you always have to be aware of. But where else do you see Dan being dangerous?
Well, he has always, he's a little bit older, but the guys that he's a little bit slower, but the power is always there. You don't lose the power. So he has always the power. That's where he's known for, and obviously he has the experience. And but I think competing at a high level for so many years, it's worn on him, and but you never know. I trained for the best Dan Henderson, so it's up to him what he does.
Yeah. Well, he is older than you, but you're funny because you've actually been in the game a long time too. You might still be a fresh young chicken at 29, but you which I can't believe. Like that to me is crazy because I feel like you should be older because you've been doing this longer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, previous fights I had also a little bit burned out. Fighting for a long time. After one fight after the other, fighting the number two guy, now again number three guy, something like that. Coming from injuries, I think too much in a short time.
Yeah.
So with this fight, I took some time off. I really like going into the fight and go hard 5 rounds, 3 rounds. I mean,
yeah.
So I'm looking forward to a fight.
Right.
So it's I trained the best that I could. I know it's not on the training, and I'm gonna just go and leave it all out there, and then whatever happens, happens. But I don't see this fight losing. I really don't see myself losing. But anything can happen. But I think I've done everything right to get the win.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't looked at the odds, but I would think most people would give the advantage to you. I think most people going in would say that you're the favorite.
I think so, but I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, if we really do talk about what you did, I mean, you fought Lyoto Machida, then you fought Mark Munoz, then you fought Gegard. It's like, it's understandable that you might have gotten a little tired.
Yeah, and the fight got rescheduled also. I never believed in the burnouts. That's a new disease that everyone has nowadays.
Right.
But I believe in it now.
Yeah. Just, I hear now you're allowed to just do some cocaine to kind of pick your spirits right back up and then.
Yeah, probably.
No. That was bad. That was cheap. That was
cocaine is bad. Don't do it, children.
Don't do it, children.
Yes.
No, that's not really fair. I like John, but that is still kind of outrageous that's not a big a deal of smoking weed. But listen, that's another conversation.
He does it, what he does in his private life, and but he's a famous athlete, so people gonna judge. Right. But I think a lot of people do crazy stuff, but because they're not famous, you don't hear about it. But it doesn't come out.
Exactly, and even out of all the famous people, he's like the least offender. I mean, you know what I mean? If we really all sat down and told stories about what we've seen at an after party.
We keep it secret.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
you and I we talked like we said a little while ago when this was announced, but I think people still want to know how you feel about the Jacare fight. Like was it more upsetting because a loss in the UFC kind of brings you down some pegs? Were you more frustrated at the loss of position, or just by the simple fact that you lost to Jacare after you had beaten him once before?
No, I like Jack Ray.
Yeah.
He's a friend. I wish him the best. I
Hmm.
hope he get the title fight.
Hmm.
Uh, the most thing that I hate, I didn't even watch the fight because I think the baddest thing about that fight was I didn't feel myself.
Hmm.
I never had that, but that fight really, I really didn't feel like wanting to fight. And I must say, Joker did also a good job.
Yes, he
He
did.
didn't make me comfortable in there to
Yeah.
feel like going into. But I think I just wasn't in the fight from the beginning, and
Hmm.
it was a very weird feeling for me. And I think it was too much in a too much short time. And
Hmm.
I think I'm smarter about that now. You learn everything
Yeah.
as you go on, and I think not giving it my all was the worst thing in that fight.
Well, I have to say, it was frustrating watching it when when you see somebody that you know is capable of more and they're
Yeah,
not doing it. You know what I mean? You're just like,
yeah,
"What, just,
yeah. No, I just wasn't into in the fight. I mean,
And was it all
after the
like that
fight,
leading up, or was it like literally that day you were just like, meh, I don't know?
I just didn't have the fighting spirit just to go. And I was, I think a lot of things bothers up before you have such a performance like that. I think with the training and not feeling to fight, burned out,
Right, right, right.
having, I had good coaches, but I, I was too defensive.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't want to. I say I wasn't looking for to hit him or
Hmm.
do damage.
Hmm.
I don't know. It just wasn't
Yeah.
what it should have been.
And didn't you say sometimes too, outside of the gym, sometimes there's just a lot of distraction, and sometimes there's noise, and sometimes it's hard to
Yeah.
focus.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know. Sometimes there's distraction and you still do good.
Yeah.
Sometimes you train good and it goes bad.
Right.
I don't know. This sport is a lot of luck.
It is, and that's the thing. You really do learn a lot along the way,
Yeah,
but you do find out that yeah, like on
yeah.
a certain Saturday,
It's
you
a
just might
moment,
not have it.
It's a I say you train for 2 3 months,
Hmm.
but you have to be great at that certain day, and
Yeah.
that's when you get judged. Let's say
Yeah.
on that fight day, it doesn't matter that you 2 weeks ago you were the best in the gym and you
Hmm.
were beating everyone up. It's that moment that you have to show everything,
Hmm.
and that moment, if you not yourself, yeah, doesn't go well.
No, that's
No,
frustrating.
no.
Well, you had some time to relax, get yourself back in the groove. It looks like camp is going okay, but you got a little something going on over your eye here. What's that?
Yeah, it's been from a long time ago, but I don't know. It's still like a little bit scar, but
Yeah.
it's all healed up.
So it's not a bullseye target for Dan, I mean
No,
that's.
no, 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 no.
Although I guess it's on your left side here. I'm thinking I'm looking at you in
Yeah,
reverse.
he's
So
more. Yeah, for the yeah, he's not on the good side.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
you have to be careful for his right hand, but he has a good left hook also.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
and it's funny too for you. I'm guessing it takes some. Not it's not pressure, but the fact that you only have to go over to Sweden. That's certainly a lot easier trip for you in terms of cutting weight and everything. But you have been good at 185, so that's still okay, right?
yeah, definitely. This fight, I'm in better shape. I mean, I feel really good shape
Yeah.
this time, and it gave me a lot of mental confidence also. And my weight is much lower than the last time, and
Hmm.
so I just need to cut maybe 10 pounds.
Oh.
So I feel good. Speed is there. Conditioning is great.
Hmm.
So I don't have any issues.
Nice.
Yeah.
And will we bring the whole party posse over there? Are you bringing a lot of family and friends?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I've maybe 4 or 5 sparring partners that's coming. My coaches, a lot of friends, my physician, I think,
Yeah.
Even my surgeon is gonna come.
Wow.
The guy that yeah. So it's a lot of people are coming. So it's just I feel like home advantage. I feel.
Nice. And that's knee surgeon, the guy that fixed your leg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of the best in Holland. So yeah,
Nice.
he wanted to come. Of course, happy that he's coming. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Well, I love. And you have to remind me of his name. Your boxing coach, the older guy with the great face who doesn't like to wear shirts.
I forgot his name also now.
That's crazy. But when we
But
were in Brazil, I cracked up because I go to meet you guys.
I got too much punches in my head, I think. Yeah, but for this fight, I haven't worked with him.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. Well, you have an excuse.
Yeah. So probably that's it. Yeah. Oh, Joop. Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Joop Kruis, yes.
But so you've gotten some different things. I mean, because there's that formula of like it's not broken, don't fix it. But you did switch things up a little bit this time.
Yeah, I've changed a lot. I'm doing more what I've done in the past, and that's just training hard, training smart. I believe that's what I've done this time. And I think with the previous fight, I was with the training, I was getting too much defensive, just keeping him off, keeping the distance. It doesn't work. That you don't win a fight by just keeping him at distance. So I've trained more just to go and push the fight and just be the aggressive and go for the finish. I think every fight that I had top position, I always finish the fights. I think that's the goal in this fight. Take it. If I get top position, I really feel like I can finish the fight.
Yeah, I think when it gets in there, I feel like you're going to be a lot bigger than Dan. I mean, Dan, when he used to fight at 205, it was like he didn't have to do anything to get there, right? So I think naturally going in there, you'll be considerably bigger, yeah?
Yeah, but I think strength-wise, Dan has never came short on that.
No.
I think size does not gonna matter but I feel like if I get the top position, he will have troubles.
Yeah. So you mentioned before that you thought you would like to see Jacare get a title shot. I know you probably heard that his fight with Yoel Romero is not going to happen now, which I'm so bummed because that's like right down the street in LA here, at the Staples Center. It's like we could have a little hangout at our house and we could all go down there after. It'd be great. But so that's disappointing. They say it's still going to happen, but just down the line a little bit more. But I am curious, what you see going on in the division right now because we know Lyoto and Luke Rockhold are going to fight each other, and you never fought Luke either, right? Not before.
No.
No. But obviously we know you went 5 rounds with Lyoto. Who do you see winning that fight?
That's a difficult one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one I really couldn't say. I never thought about it. No, but it's a very It depends. Yeah.
It depends on what if he can catch Lyoto. You know what I mean? Is it that?
I think it depends on if Luke Rockhold put the pressure on Machida and really brings the fight to Machida, then he will have a good chance.
Because isn't that what people kind of think the formula is that after we saw Chris Weidman and Lyoto, that if you really make Lyoto have to back up a lot, it's harder for him, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's the way to beat him, actually. Not steady, but high pressure,
Yeah.
And then, of course, you get tired in the later round, but so does the Machida. So, you take a lot out of him than yourself, I believe.
And do you think Chris will keep the belt against Vitor?
I don't know which Vitor Belfort will show up, but I think Chris Weidman has the better chances.
Yeah, he's quite good. But that's the thing. Vitor is amazing and has been so good for so long. I feel like Vitor has forgotten things people never even learned. You know what I mean?
The fights that Vitor won were all in Brazil. So I have to see what he does in U.S.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're saying. Well, he's won some fights here, hasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. There you are. No, well, I think it's going to be a good fight.
Yeah, definitely.
But in the main event for your show, obviously, getting back to Sweden, you've got Alexander Gustafsson is taking on Rumble Johnson. I know, you're probably leaning toward Gus in this one.
You have to. After his performance against John Jones, you have to give the favor to Gustafsson. But Gustafsson is not a really big puncher.
Yeah.
He's more of a rabbit, not a rap. I say a lot of punches, but not too much power behind it. But he has a good conditioning.
Yeah.
And Johnson is more of a big puncher, and so it's a good fight. It's power versus a lot of movement and a lot of punches.
Yeah, that's true. No, Alexander is a very busy, fast-moving guy. Yeah, and Anthony kind of seems to hunt people down a little bit more. But when he gets you, you're.
So it depends. It depends. But of course, Gustafsson is the favorite. But it's a really good matchup, I believe.
So obviously it's January right now, and you said before that you were, fighting kind of frequently, and that tired you out a little bit. But how often do you think, you'd like to fight this year, or just kind of moving forward? What's a good schedule for you?
After this, maybe 4 or 5 months later, another fight, and end of the year, hopefully, if everything goes well, and then that would be fine. Yeah. But maximum 3, and but really every 4 or 5 months. Yeah, so January 1, and then a couple months later, and then end of the year. That would be fine.
And it's funny, just earlier today I was down at King's MMA, and I was talking to Fabricio Verdum, and obviously he was training for so long, and his fight got put off, and then he won the title, and he said, he kind of took about a month off, and then he said, well, it's kind of painful, getting right back into it.
Yeah.
But what would you do? So if you fight, you're fighting next weekend, and if you don't want another fight for a few months, how much time would you just kind of kick back and relax?
Well, I think I'm going to take a full month off.
Yeah.
Not fully, but I'm going to just, I'm planning on keep training, but maybe 3 times in a week.
Yep.
And then work a little bit more on technique and strength.
Yeah.
And then as I progress, then I will work more on like explosive and conditioning, and then more on more specific for the fight. But I'm gonna do that maybe 2-3 times in a week. So it's not really, that's not really difficult, but I'm planning on keeping it low. So once I have fight, I have the desire to train every day and to be able to do it all over again, because every day, 2 times a day is too much. Yeah, people forget that if you do it year in, year out, you get tired of it.
Well, yeah, because you've been doing it pretty much at that pace for what, almost 10 years or so?
Yeah, so it's a little bit too much. I feel it. I need the breaks, the time to get, to have the desire to fight, I can't do it all the time. So I have to, things change now. I'm a little bit older. I have to adjust. Yeah.
Well, something you were talking about recently on Twitter was not getting paid by Fear the Fighter, your sponsor. How's that going? Because, that you hear that a lot, unfortunately, that you guys don't get paid from various sponsors. So what's the status?
Well, I don't know. I get a lot of emails from my manager that they're proceeding with some stuff. I don't know. But I let everything my manager do it. But I haven't still got paid. So other than that, they're handling whatever they're doing.
So is it? Yeah, no, I think they're saying they wanted to like sue you for slander or something, right? That you were saying bad things about them, and so now they want to get you in trouble.
Yeah, they said something like that, but how can they do that? They haven't paid me. So
right.
If they don't pay me, I can say you didn't pay me.
Right. You're not saying if it's the truth, it's the truth.
Yeah, it's if after the first fight, I don't know. They just should. My manager's handling it, and what can I say? Maybe the Reebok deal is a good thing, and then we don't have to. And then we don't have these people anymore.
Right. Well, how many fights was it that they owe you for?
I think 2 fights.
Yeah.
2 fights, yeah.
We could sponsor you for MMA Heat. How much money do we have? we got a couple bucks.
Okay, that's good.
Do you like the Reebok thing? I mean, some people are really kind of upset about it, but listen, if you're not getting paid by some sponsors, maybe the Reebok thing works for you. How do you feel about it?
I don't know what the deal with the Reebok is.
Yeah.
I think the top fighters will be happy.
Yeah. But you're a main
uh,
event guy most of the time.
yeah, I think like I don't know, like Ronda Rousey,
Hmm.
John Jones, McGregor, they got already sponsored by
Yeah.
it. I think they will be happy with their deals, but I
Right.
don't know how it's gonna look for me and some other fighters. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't really have an opinion. I just have to wait and see what it's gonna be, you know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't know what they're gonna pay. It's
Mm.
all about how much they pay. It's
Right.
nothing else. It's not like, oh, they give me free stuff. Who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah, it's about how they compensate with the previous sponsorship money that you got for fights. So it's basically that, and so we see how it goes.
Well, try to win some fights, Gegard, and then
Yeah,
you'll.
yeah, definitely. You know, it's all up to the fighter himself, of
Yeah.
course. You know how they said it has to do with rankings.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all up to the fighters. If they higher rank, they get probably more money. So yeah, it's all up to me. Yeah.
Yeah, it is up to you. Hey, listen, one of your old buddies, Kimbo Slice, got signed to Bellator. Did you hear about that?
Yeah, I read something like that today. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's legit. Now, I actually, back when we covered Strikeforce and Elite XC and all this stuff, I always liked Kimbo. He was a really nice guy. Did you ever spend any time with him?
No, no, no. I don't know him
Oh,
personally.
you do? Okay, yeah. I guess
Uh,
I'm thinking back in the day. I guess it was Elite XC because I was like,
Oh no, no, I never met him or
yeah,
anything. But I like Scott Coker. You know,
yeah.
yeah, he's a really good guy, and I think he's trying to build the promotion, and
Hmm.
he needs names, and
Yeah.
obviously Kimbo Slice people know him.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I'm excited. He's been
yeah,
boxing since, because he stopped fighting MMA. He's been boxing. He's been knocking people out.
yeah. Well, he's doing good. I've seen
Yeah.
some of his boxing fights, but I don't know. He's not gonna be the best, but
No.
against the average guys, he knocks them out. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I think he's a lot of fun. He's a lot of
yeah,
fun. Well, so listen, I thought I was going to be coming to Sweden. I thought maybe Kurt wasn't going to want to make it because it's between football and he covers football,
yeah.
but he's going. So I won't
Too
be
bad.
there. I'm
Yeah.
bummed.
Yeah, it's a. Is it sold out?
I think it is because we've been talking about it. The fact that because Alexander and Phil Davis came in the other day and we were talking and it was like, oh, you guys are going to be fighting in front of 30,000 fans. So I'm pretty sure it is. I mean, if
Yeah,
Alexander can't sell out a stadium at home in Sweden, he's in trouble.
yeah. So it's a big stage. So
Yeah.
it's yeah. It's too bad you couldn't come.
I know,
Yeah.
I'm really disappointed because listen, you never came over to LA to train, so we never got to do all of our filming with you training.
No, I'm gonna come after this fight. I'm gonna take a holiday, gonna skiing, and then LA for
Really?
sure.
They let
Yeah,
you
hundred
ski? That's
percent
not
this
in your
time.
contract that you can't ski because you'll rip your knees up?
I don't know. I should read it
You
again
should read
probably.
it. I always thought they had a thing in there that you can't endanger yourself, and that was the whole thing is that Cowboy Cerrone's always like, yeah, whatever, but that you're really
Yeah.
not supposed to hurt yourself.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. So I'm
Check.
not gonna post any ski
Right,
pictures
yeah,
on
if you
Facebook.
do it. Don't. But yeah, it'd be great if you came over and you'd probably see Antony and the guys over there.
For sure.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
definitely gonna do that. After the fight, take a couple weeks off, and I
Yeah.
think a little bit sun would be good.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Well, awesome. We're really looking forward to your fight with Dan. I think it's going to be great. And I guess we'll just hopefully see you soon. But thanks again for taking the time. It's always a pleasure to catch up with you.
Thank you, Karyn. Thank you for your time. See you. Bye
Bye.
bye. Bye bye.